My name is Lissa Piercy, and I'm the executive director of nonprofit organization Strength of Doves. At Strength of Doves, we represent socially conscious activist spoken word artists so that they can earn a living doing what they do, which is healing through art and building communities through art. I got into spoken word poetry because on the day before my 20th birthday, I stood in a church in front of over 100 people and delivered the eulogy at my father's memorial service. In the same 2.5 year period of time surrounding his death, I lost 6 other people that were close to me. And I dug my feet into the ground and I said, I'm not going to be successful and I'm not going to move forward because success means that it's okay that these people are gone. Over the period of time following those losses, I started going to open mics. I started hearing specifically poets be extremely vulnerable about their own experiences and also about the state of the world and our country and the change that needed to happen. 4 years after I lost my father, I wrote a poem about his death and what it was like to go through the experience of suffering through his cancer with him. I performed the poem on a college campus, and a young woman walked up to me and she said, "How do you do it? How do you get through every day?" It turned out that her mother had cancer, and she was struggling in the same ways that I had struggled at the beginning of my college career. We sat down and I shared with her some of my coping mechanisms, some of my writing techniques, and I realized that the art form that had healed me was also capable of healing other people through me. So I started looking around and saying, okay, if this is what I want to do, then how do I do this? And I started asking other poets how they earned a living doing this life-changing work. And most of them weren't earning a living doing it. In fact, a lot of the best and most amazing poets I knew couldn't even afford the $5 or $10 cover to go to an open mic to perform their work. So I got involved with a network of poets called Strength of Doves, which is now a fully functioning nonprofit, and we thought about how do we answer this question of how can spoken word poets earn a living doing the work that they do. We started as an agency. We thought we'll just take poets and gigs and we'll link them together. And since November of 2015, we have linked poets to over $21,000 worth of poetry gigs, which is really exciting. We've also realized that it's not just about being an agency. It's also about building training programs for artists on our roster and artists outside of our roster, and about creating a marketplace where anyone can book any poet so that we can actually support all of the spoken word artists across the United States and not just the network of artists on our particular agency roster. So we've been doing this work, and it's exciting to do this work. And I've now entered my most recent challenge, which is I'm fundraising for the first time, and we're doing a philanthropic capital campaign to raise the money that we need in order to become fully financially sustainable by October of 2015. But I wouldn't have been able to do all of this work if it weren't for the amazing poets that I work with every day, and if it weren't for the open mic venues and the supportive communities that I'm part of, and also for the women that taught me that it was okay, and in fact it was important that I run an organization, and that I believe in myself and my power to do this work.